What's up, guys? Musty Hobbit back with a overdue video. I realized that it's been a few weeks since my meeting with the Iowa Retro Gamer Nation. I haven't had a chance to show you everything that I picked up, so I wanted to take the opportunity to do that now. Now you may be wondering why I decided to do a different angle. Purpose for that is I've actually picked up a couple new shelves from recent garage sale weekends, and I haven't had a chance to set those up. So I decided to do some shuffling and actually move the Xbox stuff over to this shelf, which you normally don't get to see, and actually put the Super Nintendo stuff back in that corner there. So more to come with that. I'm hoping in the next week or two I'll have things kind of configured. I can show you what I ended up getting at those garage sales, which pretty happy about. Nothing to really be too proud over, but I can at least say that there's some nice things. I think the room is really kind of starting to come together. So all in all, pretty happy there. Like I said, Iowa Retro Gamer Nation is a Facebook group that I frequent. Local people, people across the state of Iowa, and also into some of the other states around the area. One of the admins decided to have a get-together, sort of a barbecue-type meetup at his place, and he was a great host. So Joel, thank you for doing that. It was really nice for you to, open your garage to everybody and to really give us all a chance to just kind of meet and greet, and in some cases put together some deals that we had been working on or that we decided to make on the spot. So one of the things that Joel actually gave me, I was one of the first people there. It's his wife's company, I guess, does screen printing on shirts, so I have this Talk Nerdy to Me shirt. So I'm sure that you'll see this again at some point, but I didn't want it to be a total surprise. It's kind of silly. But thank you, Joel, again, for that. So where to start? I had a deal that I sort of needed to wrap up with Frogman Logger, who's a fellow YouTuber and also member of the group. He had been picking up some, and I've picked up Xbox games from him that he's found in the wild periodically. So finally closed down on a deal that he'd sort of been hanging on to for a while. So thank you again for doing that. But I got 5 games from him, the first of which is ESPN 2K5. We also got World Series Baseball 2K3, Ghost Recon Summit Strike, and then Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. And then this one was the kind of best of the lot, and that's Scarface, The World Is Yours. So thank you again for that. We'll get a chance to absorb these into this massive shelf of Xbox games at some point. Now, I had mentioned recently that I had picked up a copy of Def Jam 5 for New York for the PlayStation, missing the manual. Well, hi. Say hello to everybody. This is my kitty. Her name is Chicago. Okay, I'm gonna have to have you move now. You're in my way. Scoot over here. Okay. So anyways, Def Jam 5 for New York. I managed to trade off that copy for someone who had a copy of it on Xbox. So I went from my manual-less version to a complete copy of Def Jam 5 for New York. So that kind of wraps up the Xbox stuff from the event, except for one big thing, which I'll get to at the end, which was really kind of a pleasant surprise. The next thing I got, this was from Ben, and Ben actually drove me out there. He's from local city that's somewhat near to me, and it was easier for the two of us to just kind of share a ride. Which again, Ben, thank you. And then he decided to let me have this strategy guide for Super Smash Brothers for 3DS and Wii U. So really nice guide. Lots of pages on each character, all the stages, talks about all the items and those sorts of things. So Ben, thank you. This is really cool. I think it looks great, and some of the artwork is super nice. So thank you, Ben. I also did a deal with Andrew. Andrew, he does artwork, and the artwork he does is pretty fantastic. He had sold me a couple of AV outs for the Super Nintendo N64 GameCube. I was in need of a couple of those, but he also had, I actually did a partial trade purchase for this game, Super Smash Brothers. And it's nice to finally have this. This is a game that I spent a lot of my junior year of high school playing. We used to go over to my friend Joe and John, went over to their house, and we had some other friends, couple Chris's and other people who, we all just sort of played Smash a whole lot, and it was a lot of fun. I have not really had a chance to play the original. It's always been Melee since that came out, and then more recently with the Wii U version. So happy to have now picked up Smash again. The next set of pickups all came from Rob from NES Depot. Rob, I've mentioned him before. He's a great example of somebody who has his business, and he does a nice job making sure to he does well for people who bring him business, and so that's I really appreciate what you do, Rob, and I really hope that things go far with your business and all of that. I got a couple of things. We'll start off with a couple of magazines or books, the first of which is the Mario Mania Player's Guide. This is the Player's Guide for Super Mario World, and it's in just really good shape. Very happy to have that one. The other, this one eluded me a little bit. This is the bonus issue of Nintendo Power for Mega Man X. So I now have that one to go perfectly with my copy of Mega Man X. That does it for those magazines. Now, I've tasked myself recently with trying to pick up as much of the Cartridge Club Game of the Month library that they've sort of built over the time, even though I've only been in the club since January. But one of the earlier games that they had played, on one that I have not really had a chance, I've never had a chance to play this game for PlayStation, and yes, it's disc only, but it's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And this game, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, it sounds wonderful. I really need to give this one a shot. I realize there's no case. I think I may have something lined up. Round 2 Gaming mentioned that he may have a case for me. So, Dean, thank you. And again, Rob, thank you for hooking me up with that. Then the last thing that I picked up from Rob is a game off of my Super Nintendo list. And I have a couple others that go toward my respective lists as well. But I managed to get, and this is a very nice, clean copy of Kirby's Avalanche. And this is funny because I just recently got Wario's Woods, so I'm in kind of this puzzle mode right now, and Yoshi's Cookie. So Wario's Woods, Yoshi's Cookie, Kirby's Avalanche, all of these are different variations on puzzle games, and I'm looking forward to playing this. I know that my wife plays a lot of puzzle games. She enjoys Dr. Mario, and so this type of game I think would be right up her alley, so I'm hoping at some point she gives that a shot. But Kirby's Avalanche, thank you, Rob, again for all of that. The other 4 games that I bought were from Joel. Joel, again, was the host of the whole event. And I, again, tried to knock off a couple of Cartridge Club staples, one of which was not so highly enjoyed, and the other that was very much enjoyed. So I did get a complete copy of Super Mario Sunshine, which, again, mixed feelings out of the Cartridge Club on this one. I know that some people really aren't too pleased. I've never played it, so I'm going to give it my own shot one of these days as I look at my horrible backlog, and we'll kind of figure out what to do from there. So Super Mario Sunshine, and then the other one also for GameCube. I'm very happy about this. I used to own this when it had originally came out. This game plays with your mind a lot. It has insanity effects, and if you're at all familiar with the game, you know which one I'm talking about. It's Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. And again, this is also complete as well. So, very happy on those. The other two I got from Joel. I'm trying to debate on which one to do first. Do this one. Keeping the theme of oop, you didn't see that, did you? Keeping the theme of Kirby, the other Kirby game I picked up was Kirby's Dream Course. This is Kirby Mini Golf, basically. And again, another sort of puzzly type game, but they really got creative with using the Kirby character in the Super Nintendo and really kind of took off from there. There was a lot, I know, for the GameCube that kind of broke down some genre barriers and things like that. So happy to get that. I believe with all of those Super Nintendo games, that brings me to 68 of that top 100 list, leaving me with 32 left to go to completion. There's some big titles and some ones that I really hope I find. Hoping maybe Portland will be a good opportunity to find those. So pretty pleased there. The last game that I picked up was an NES game. Hopefully you didn't already see what it was. But it is Mega Man 6, which leaves me, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, leaving me with 5, which I know is the tough one to find. So I really appreciate, again, Joel, thank you for, again, hosting and hooking me up with some of these things. These are games that I never expected to just find in lined up in a tub or lined up in a box of games, so I'm really happy to have found them. I think it really kind of made for a really great event when you can walk away with some things that you just didn't expect to get when you walked in there in the first place. And speaking of things that I didn't expect to walk away with, there was somebody else from the group who goes by his name is Rowdy. As I understand, he used to work for Team Avalanche, which was one of the first groups that really went through the whole modding scene with the original Xbox, like the whole dashboard updates and that sort of thing. And I've seen some crazy things that he's posted on the Facebook group, even down to prop replica grade Master Chief armor, which is like a dream thing to own, but there's just no way. He happened to have a number of magazines, and these are the original, or official Xbox magazines, so OXM, if anyone remembers. And this is what's crazy. This is box number 1. Now, all these ones that have the sleeves on them, those were ones that I had already picked up. I recently picked those up. I think I showed those in a video a few weeks back. But all these other ones are, new to me issues, even down to issue 1 with Dead or Alive 3 on the cover, even down to the little cards for subscriptions and things like that. So that was box number 1. Whoops. And this is box number 2. All in all, there were over 100 issues, and he didn't ask for anything from me on this. I cannot express how thankful I am for that, and the fact that Rowdy, that you were willing to let me have those, and that you understand how much this system means to me and how formative it was for me in my early 20s. This is just awesome, and I'm pretty ecstatic about it. I don't know if this may spawn something in the future. I feel like just having even just the original reviews for some of these games could be really interesting, and so we'll see what we do from there. But again, this goes all the way up from issue 1 all the way up to, let me just see, the latest one was the 2013 issue. So basically, it spans 11 or 12 years worth of Microsoft games and reviews and previews, and I'm sure there's lots of games in here that never saw the light of day. I'm sure there are some now that were overhyped. It's funny, I saw in this first issue they talk about Project Ego, which, if you at all recall, this was Fable. So Fable was on the cover of this first issue. There's the review for Halo as well. Just really cool. It really, again, a lot of people love looking at their Nintendo powers, and I do too. But this was something big for me. Now, there are no demo discs, and that's kind of the one thing that everyone asks when I show this to them is, oh, do you have a demo disc? Maybe at some point that might be something that I would look for, but if I'm working on the library, I don't really know if I need demos. But we'll see. We'll see. You never know. I could come across some to sort of accompany these magazines, but all in all, again, just having them alone, and I'll need to find, I think one of these new shelves for me is probably going to be a very nice entire shelf with all of these magazines on it. So I'm going to leave you there. Again, I would just want to say thank you to everyone who I got a chance to meet, everyone who I got a chance to interact with at this get-together. I think it says a lot for the group when we have that kind of a turnout. I think there were over 30 people, and lots of just good conversation and opportunity to kind of learn a lot about each other and their collecting habits and things like that. So I'm looking forward to future events. Hopefully we have another one sometime soon, but I don't want to belabor the point too much. I want to thank you all for coming by. Thank you to recent subscribers. I've seen some people who I believe are just finding my videos organically, or maybe they're hearing me through podcast appearances, things like that. I enjoy doing these things. I enjoy putting out content, and it's fun to get to talk shop with people whenever I get the chance to. So I look forward to more of that in the future, but I am going to kind of wrap it up there. Again, I want to say thank you a lot to everyone. So I have been Musty. Take care of yourself and be good to each other. Bye.